Hi everybody, I'm Beebs Kelly. Welcome back to another fashion edition. Lately there has been so much going on in the royal sphere that we have had less time for fashion editions. And also, sometimes that award season can really feel like it needs to slow down afterwards. But the Met Gala just happened, and of course, it has always been a display of opulence and unnecessarily exaggerated fashions. But I had high hopes for this one because the theme was super fine tailoring black style, which I thought would be fabulous because, as you probably know, I really like good tailored look. I like things that fit well and are not too messy. And I think that, Hollywood and the fashions especially are migrating towards a little bit more of that, bringing back a little bit more classic styles and timeless pieces, because culturally we are sort of moving away from fast fashion slowly but surely. People are recognizing the value in fewer, more high quality pieces, things like that. So of course, it would be a logical next step to see places like the Met Gala and other red carpet events to be also gravitating towards a little bit more tailoring in their looks and a little bit more classic styles. And of course, this isn't exactly that, but I was looking forward to it. And I was only halfway pleased. We're going to go through a few of the top looks today, and if you would like a part 2 covering more of them, please leave it in the comments and click the like button, and be sure to watch to the end. That way I know that you enjoyed this video and want some more of it. So first we have Rihanna, who is wearing Marc Jacobs. I love the shoes. Those are fun. I don't love the way the skirt is, but this is a maternity look, so sometimes it can be a little bit challenging to orchestrate around a growing baby bump, but I think the rest of it's okay. The hat is super dramatic. It's not my favorite look though. It's a shame. Another one that was not my favorite was Coleman Domingo in Valentino. I felt like this robe and the super opulent sort of capelet on top it just felt too costumey for me. It felt a little too dramatic in a way, I guess. I don't know. I just didn't love it. I like the blue color, but the rest of it, it was a little fugly. Lewis Hamilton in Wales Bonner. It's nice. It looks nice. I don't really have any major complaints about this. The beret is something fresh, and that's nice. Pharrell Williams in Louis Vuitton. The bell-bottom flare situation is a little too over the top for me, but I do like the open stitch sort of vibe of the jacket. I think that's nice. It's on trend. But yeah, I'm never gonna get on board with legit bell-bottoms. It's not gonna happen for me. Emma Chamberlain in an extremely dramatic look here. Completely open back, open sides, and very, very drop waist. I don't love it. I don't love a look that looks like it's going to, you sneeze and something pops out, or like a crack showing in the back. I just don't like those sorts of looks. I don't feel like that's good fashion. I feel like those are editorial moments where a designer is playing, which is fine and great and required in creative industries like fashion, but it doesn't belong in a public venue like this. In a moment like this, it just comes off kind of silly. Lala Anthony in archival off-white. Now, I like this. I think this is the type of thing that should belong on the Met Gala carpet here. Blue carpet, I guess. I really like this. I think it's fabulous. It looks like it fits her perfectly, and it's interesting, and it's unique enough and fashion enough to be at the Met Gala, but it's not absurd to the point where she looks ridiculous or she's showing off her butt crack like Emma was. Tiana Taylor's Ruth E. Carter look is very costume, very over the top, perhaps a little too much going on for my liking. There's so much layering, so much happening, but at the same time, it is interesting. There's always something new to look at in this look. Your eye is bouncing around, and all of the tones and all of the colors mesh nicely together. So you are able to appreciate the intricate layering done here, but it is at first glance a little cluttered. Ego's dramatic peplum and trousers, I don't think is doing her any favors. It's making her look a little frumpy, in large part because the peplum is like really over the top and dramatic, and it's starting up so high that it's erasing her waist, and then the sleeves of the jacket also have room, so this feels a little bit overwhelming to her, and like it's kind of making her look, it's not flattering her figure very nicely. But I do like her fascinator. And I mean, it could have been nice. It could have been an interesting attempt if it fit her a little bit better, just to still make her look pretty, you know? That's always my complaint about red carpet looks that are a little bit too editorial or just a little bit, maybe a little more artistic, because sometimes that favors the art of the clothing over the beauty of the wearer. And I always feel like in moments like these, you're going to be photographed. This is going to be like on the internet forever. You want to look beautiful. You want to be bringing out the beauty of your figure and complimenting you. You want to look nice. And the clothes can have their shine, their time on the runway, in magazines, in photo shoots, in ad campaigns. When you're wearing it for an event that you're going to and you're going to be photographed in it, it should complement you, and the clothes should enhance your beauty and silhouette. That's just my opinion and my ethos when it comes to fashions and, you know, red carpet events and things like that, and the styling. I think it should always enhance the beauty of the wearer, kind of like with makeup. So it's just two very different things. And I feel like sometimes on the red carpet or at the Met Gala especially, or certain other things, people are wearing things that it's about the fashion, which is great. And the Met Gala is more like that than other things. But I can't get away from the fact that it should still make the person look more beautiful. Anyway, that was a long tangent. Sorry about that. Zendaya looks amazing. Now, this flared trouser I can get behind. This doesn't feel full-fledged bell bottom. This feels like a carefully tailored, carefully tapered, flared trouser. I love it. It's Louis Vuitton. This suit is perfection. Look how the length of her suit jacket balances with her legs perfectly. The volume is controlled in the suit jacket so that the flare of the trouser doesn't overwhelm her thin frame. She looks amazing. This is spectacular. Everything about this is perfect. La Roche and Zendaya are just the best. Now, there was a trend, an epidemic, if you will, at the Met Gala of ladies forgetting their pants, their trousers, their skirts. And I hate it. I don't like that. You need a trouser or a pant or a skirt. Hailey Bieber and Saint Laurent, the first on the list here, looks like she's just wearing the blazer. Now, a blazer dress is a thing, but this is a little too short for that, okay? One wrong move and everything's exposed. Can't we just give one more inch of length or a little skirt underneath, a mini skirt underneath that just barely peekaboo, just to stay covered? I don't see what's so bad about that. I really don't. But the blazer itself was nice. Kendall Jenner's, I like it okay. I feel like it's really, really heavy on the shoulders, a little too much draping there. I feel like I personally would have liked it better without that, but I do love the dramatic necklaces with this deep V-neck. I think that was really beautiful. And the peplum, this is a peplum done right. The cinching in at the waistline all the way until the lowest point of that thinnest point of the waist before the flare of the peplum suit jacket. That's perfect. That is how a peplum should be to flatter the wearer the best. They're great, but they're tricky. Iowa Debris is, it's a little messy. I'm surprised she's not wearing Loewe. She really likes Loewe. This just looks a little messy to me. I feel like the combination of the scrunched up messy Meghan Markle sleeves and the beads, it just looks way too messy. But the base had great potential. But scrunching up the sleeves, it's really hard to make that not look like trash. Raul Domingo, is it safe? Maybe. It's a nice silhouette, classic. It's pretty. It's tailored well. Thank goodness. But it's not, like, exciting me. It's not wowing me enough. Anna Wintour is wearing Louis Vuitton. I love this ice blue jacket that she's wearing. But I feel like the dress underneath could have had a little more oomph. That's just my opinion. It's just a little bit Mother of the Bride, not Met Gala. Let's see you bring your fashion game, Anna. B. Corazzini. I like it. I don't feel like it's as on theme as some other things. I don't love the necklace. I don't feel like it goes with the vibe of the dress. It's not my favorite. It's not particularly impressive, but it's not the worst. It could be way worse. We know this. La Roche wore Burberry. His outfit looks ever so slightly messy, especially compared to Zendaya's, but it could just be this angle. I love his vibe anyway. Tyla looks amazing. This is beautiful. I do not like this type of strap though. It always looks to me like you just couldn't get it up onto your shoulder, like it just doesn't fit right, especially because there's that puckering right by the armpit. I always feel like these don't work well. And then her dress itself is quite wrinkly, so I feel like they could have done better. But the silhouette and the concept of this look was fabulous. It needed a little bit more of a polish, as a finishing touch could have been a little bit better. Anouk Yai is wearing Tom Brown, and this is gorgeous. It's a little heavy in the upper portion of the skirt. It is very editorial, but she's definitely pulling it off better than most people could. I wasn't a huge fan of Kylie Jenner's outfit because the drop waist combined with the low cut top and the big slit and whatnot, I just feel like it was making her proportions look a little awkward, and it wasn't really flattering her as nicely as it could have. Granted, she looks amazing. She can wear it just as good as anybody else could, but I think maybe it could have been a slightly better match for her. You know, a slightly higher cup would have brought better balance to the skirt. The skirt maybe coming up ever so slightly higher could have accentuated her waist a little bit better. It just felt a little awkward. Similar thoughts on Kim Kardashian's. It just is reading ever so slightly awkward. The hat, she clearly couldn't see anything because she kept having to do this to see where she was going. It's okay to tilt it up a little bit so that you can see. You know, we do things for fashion, but we don't need to do all the things for fashion. This, I think it was an okay attempt. It did give that same vibe with the off-the-shoulder strap that you couldn't quite get it up. You couldn't quite get it to fit right. And, you know, we just have to be conscious of that. When it doesn't look perfectly intentional and it's cutting into the skin like that, it looks like it was on accident. I think that this had great potential, but it just wasn't executed as well as it maybe could have been. Charlie's look was rather messy. I am not a fan of a completely sheer skirt with just undies underneath. I'm never going to like that. It's always going to look silly to me, unfinished, and like, what are you doing out here? Where's your bottoms? Chappell Roan, always bringing a crazy vibe, very, very costumey in her looks. I think it's okay as far as staying on theme. She managed that at least because it is tailored, but she went with the really, really loud sort of patchwork approach, which feels on brand. Usher and Ralph Lauren, extremely classic. Really nice. This is the chance to go for it. Sabrina Carpenter, Louis Vuitton, The Crime, no pants. We need pants or a skirt. We just do. I'm sorry. But this is a costume piece. This is to wear on stage. This is not to wear at the Met Gala or any other event for that matter. She looks amazing other than that, though. The suit itself, the top, perfect. The jacket fits her perfect. It accentuates her figure nicely. She's a little bit pear-shaped, meaning her shoulders are a little bit more narrow than her hips. And so something with some structure up here and a shoulder pad is just going to make her figure look more balanced. But skipping the trousers or the skirt, it's a mistake 100% of the time. Even a micro skirt would be better than this. I'm a little surprised by Jenna Ortega's Balmain dress here. It's very nice. It's a little bit different for her from what she usually wears. It's pretty. I like it. It looks like a masterful construction. This is one of those that looks like it would be really, really hard to wear and to move in. But that's what, those are the types of fashion moments that make sense at the Met Gala. It's not my personal favorite still, though. Laquan Smith has this feathered jacket with a sort of sheen to his suit, and it's just looking a little messy, like they're competing with one another. I think it would have been more successful with a more matte suit or trouser at least. Nicki Minaj in Tom Brown looks spectacular. This is really, really beautiful. I think that it could have been executed a little bit better. See this white strap poking out here, peeking out. It almost looks like that's not on purpose. Like the top should have been up and covered up that. So I liked it at first, but the more I look at it, I'm seeing little things that make it feel a little bit messy. So maybe it could have had just a little more help. It does look a little messy. I wanted to like it though. Demi Moore in Tom Brown again. Really nice. This is cool. I think it's a really neat idea, a great concept. I think it's nice. It's not my favorite, but I think it's nice. I really like Monica Barbaro's Dior look. Oh, this is one of my favorites. You guys, look how fabulous this is. This is so classic, so retro, so fabulous. Look at how it accentuates her waistline, the skirt, and the flares starting at the exact right spot. The hat, the gloves. Perfect. Love that. Doechii wearing Louis Vuitton. This is a fun look. This is quirky, still on theme. I think it's fine. I give it a pass. Cardi B in Burberry. Now this is quite opulent. This is real snazzy. I love the ruffles. This is a daring color scheme. This is not a color scheme most people could pull off. It fits her perfectly. Look how nicely fit this is. How perfectly tailored this is. Really, really nice. Even if you don't love the velvet and the color scheme, even if you're not a fan of that, because it is a little bit different, you can't deny this fits perfectly and was done well. I also really like this Vera Wang number on Keke Palmer. This is really cool. I love the hairpiece. The fascinator is perfection. I love the layering here. See, this is an example of that layering and taking the aesthetic and doing it well without it having to be too much and too stimulating and look cluttered. I could do without the panel of beads in the very front, but I think in person it probably translates a little bit better. This was really cool. I like the cigarette pant underneath. See, you don't have to go pantsless. You can wear pants. Lauryn Hill's Stella McCartney piece is so dramatic and so fabulous, and it's in my favorite color. I think it was really well done. Everything fits her nicely. Gigi Hadid in Miu Miu is not really on theme. I don't feel like this matches the theme well enough. Like, it's fabulous and beautiful, but yeah, it just doesn't feel on theme enough. Also, this halter strap construction, this halter top style, is kind of throwing her off balance a little bit. It's making her shoulders look bigger and wider than they really are compared to her hip. I feel like she needed to balance that a little bit because she has a pretty rectangular figure. She's pretty well balanced. So it's just to do with the exposed shoulder adding too much visual weight. So it felt a little off balance as well. Tom Ford looking perfect. We would expect nothing less. Anna Sawai in Dior. Almost the same as Zendaya's, though I will say I like Zendaya's a little bit better. But also, if you think about it, we have two different heights of ladies, two different body types. So each one's suit suits their body type well, the way it is. Like, I would go for these more straight leg trousers for anybody with a body type a little bit more like Meghan Markle's, and anybody who has a little bit more of an hourglass or a really, really strong vertical line with a well-defined waist can go for Zendaya's suit. Anybody with more of like an apple or an inverted triangle who has maybe a little bit of weight around their midsection would do better in the silhouette of suit of Anna Sawai's. Halle Berry's Laquan Smith look, I do not like it. I do not like it, Sam Am, not one little bit. You know why? Because it's not adequate. This stripe of fabric down the front is not being dressed for the Met Gala. This does not count. And quite frankly, it did her figure disservice. She looked so amazing in this sparkly, silvery outfit. What was this, the Oscars? I don't know. She looked amazing. Look how stunning her figure looks. Look how beautiful she looks. And then you compare it to this, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because you look way worse here, where you're trying to expose more. You look way worse, way less beautiful and stunning and gorgeous and impressive than you did here. I don't know what happened, but it's a shame. Heidi Klum opted for something really, really classic this time. Thank goodness. This is really nice. No complaints. Playing it safe is fine sometimes, okay? It's nothing wrong with it. No shame in that. Angel Reese's Tom Brown's suit, I don't love it because the shift between the more shiny fabric and the matte fabric feels really amateur and messy. And it's like, what is happening? It didn't translate well. At least it didn't photograph well. I like Issa Rae's suit. It's a little wrinkly throughout the trouser, but it could be the fabric choice. I can't quite tell. It looks like it might have some sort of sheen to it because it's photographing a little strange, but it fits her perfectly and she looks beautiful. I quite like that. And Doja Cat and Marc Jacobs. Oh my gosh, I hardly recognize her. She forgot her trousers. So party foul there. The exaggerated silhouette here combined with the loud print across the front, I feel like just looks a little messy. It looks a little like it belongs in a music video, not at the Met Gala. I'm not loving it. I feel like Met Gala fashions should be impressive and on theme first, and then obviously make the person look beautiful, as I ranted about earlier. When it doesn't look impressive, then immediately it feels out of place at the Met Gala because, like, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be fashion's biggest night. It's supposed to be celebrating excellence in fashion. So when it's not impressive, it's a fail. It needs to be something impressively constructed and skillfully made. And Doja Cat's just didn't look that way to me. Out of this batch, I would say my absolute favorite is this Dior look. It's by far the best look that I saw so far on Monica wearing Dior. Absolutely best. Zendaya, second best, second favorite. What is your favorite? What did you like the most? And do you want to see a part 2? Leave it in the comments now. Thank you for joining me for today's fashion edition. I hope you have a very happy day ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye! Red carpet events and things like that and the styling, I think it should always enhance the beauty of the wearer, kind of like with makeup. Your signature makeup look and the makeup that you wear most often, even, your evening looks and your day looks, whatever you have, whatever range of makeup looks you tend to gravitate towards and wear most often are usually the ones that are enhancing your beauty and they're complementing your features and they're, accentuating your eyes if that's your favorite feature, or if you're somebody who loves a red lip, it's something like that. And they're designed to make you look more beautiful. Sometimes we do a makeup look that's about the makeup, really dramatic, almost costumey makeup, where you're doing a really colorful, really bright, really over-the-top eye look with cut creases and lots of different bright colors, or something just really fantastic with your makeup that feels more costumey. That's about the makeup. And when someone looks at you, they see cool makeup or beautiful makeup or really interesting, well done makeup or costumey type makeup. That's a vibe and it's awesome. But they're looking at the makeup first. That's what jumps out at you, not the beauty of your face so much. You know what I mean? But when you're wearing your everyday makeup that's accentuating your features and is less loud, then they see the beauty of you and it draws the attention to your beautiful eyes or your beautiful smile and your beautiful face. And it all complements you. Both have their place, but most people's day-to-day and what they wear and what they get photographed in is the type of makeup that complements them. And when I was in cosmetology school, I had makeup artistry education. That's what we were taught, for weddings and these types of things. You're going to try to enhance the beauty of the person and their features and make them look even more beautiful than they already are. When you're doing something for an ad campaign or a costume party, or it's a special event like Halloween, or perhaps some sort of project for a play or a fashion shoot or something like that, it's more editorial. It's styling the makeup in a way that showcases a certain type of look, almost like a costume, and a certain type of makeup, and the makeup is what stands out.